All right, guys, we've got a 2020 Kia Telluride that I just put front brakes on. Now I'm getting ready to go to the rear and get that started. Now, a lot of people seem to think that you have to have proprietary Kia software to retract the electronic parking brake. That's not true. I did a video, I'll link it in the upper right corner, on about 7 scan tools that will retract the parking brake. Now, the one I'm going to use here is the VDIAGTOOL D200. This is a very powerful scan tool. It's about $120, $130. It does a lot more than just retract the parking brakes, and it's a phone-based scan tool. So I'm going to get set up, get this plugged in, turn the key on, show you the parking brake retraction, and then we're going to get started on the rear brakes. I've already got the vehicle jacked up, so now let's get the parking brake retracted. All right, guys, so I've got the VCI plugged in. I've got the phone paired up. You can see that it's got a green little symbol right there. We're going to go to special functions. I've got the key of the vehicle turned on. We're going to go to parking brake, Asia, Kia. I've only got GM and Kia downloaded to this phone, so that's why it only listed those two. It does a lot more than just those two. This is a USA Kia. Yep, we're going to hit OK. Hit OK to that. Right there where it says brake pad change mode. You can see up there on the instrument panel. And hopefully you heard the calipers retract. All right, and we are done. You do want to leave the key on. If you shut the key off, the parking brakes will reset because of Kia's latest software upgrade to the car. So we're going to leave the key on and get these pads swapped out. Now, before I take this wheel off, I want to show you something. You see how that's kind of dragging? Whenever we get this caliper apart, I'm going to pay special attention to see if there's anything out of the ordinary taking place. Normally, other than, you know, a bunch of surface rust on the rotor because it's been raining and this car's been sitting a couple days, normally these wheels will just free spin really easy. Obviously, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've noticed that the one thing I like to do is pry the pistons back before I even take the caliper off. So that piston's pried all the way back. We zip out the bolts. A lot of times what you'll find is you'll find these little clips that's supposed to keep the pads spread apart. You'll find these broke. You definitely want to pull these pins in and out, make sure that they feel smooth and feel like that they've still got good grease in them. Make sure these boots aren't ripped. If these boots are ripped, more than likely, these pins are either going to be really tough to move or they're going to be seized up completely. And the reason that's a crying shame right there. The reason that we're putting pads on this is because these were friends of ours that took this vehicle to a dealership for an inspection sticker. Look at that. Look where the wear sensor is and how much pad's still left. This car's got 85,000 miles on it. So it definitely does not need pads, but I told them that just in case, let me order the pads. Pads are cheap enough and I'll go ahead and put them on, and they'll have new pads all the way around. So they was fine with that. But it just goes to show you why you may want to learn how to put pads on yourself. They quoted this customer, which are friends of ours, $3,000 worth of maintenance. That so far I haven't seen anything that it's really needed The pads, I would have never changed those pads. Okay, so the pads that we're going with are the Bosch Quiet Cast. Now these do come with all the hardware, no spring clips, pads are ceramic, so got everything you need. Remember that the pad with the wear indicator goes on the inboard side. Let's take a look at the thickness of these. I mean, they're still roughly the same thickness. Now I kind of wish they would have just brought me the car and let me take a look at it first, but hey, I didn't want to take the wheels and stuff off and then tell them it needed pads, but yet I didn't have them at the time. And as much as I'd like supporting my local auto parts store, most people want to save as much money as possible. Oh, you know what we forgot? Forgot our pins. Clips. What these do is it keeps constant tension being pushed out so that whenever you let off your brakes, the pads themselves don't stay engaged. Where's that hole at? They don't stay engaged up against the rotor. Now you've probably seen people remove this actuator, and you can do that. The reason I recommend against it is there's an O-ring in there that keeps water out of this actuator. If that O-ring's not watertight and you're driving in rain and whatnot and water gets in there, you're going to be buying a new actuator. So I'd do everything possible not to have to take that off. And if I didn't say it already, I did a video showing about 7 scan tools that will retract this emergency brake, so you don't have to take this off. So I'll link that up in the upper right corner, and I would highly recommend getting a scan tool that will retract the calipers, so you can also do other things to your car also. So this is done. I'm just going to put the wheel back on, and I'll show you how to reset the parking brake. All right guys, so once you get your wheels back on, all you got to do to re-engage or reset the parking brake, put your foot on the brake. You may have to pump it a while to get the pistons pushed back out, and then take your parking brake button and actuate it. And they want you to do that 3 times. Retracted, actuate, retract, actuate. And after that, you're done. Anyway, this was rear brakes on a Kia Telluride 2020 model. Got about 85,000 miles on it. You guys take care. We'll see you.